1063.
ESPN 1063.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
If something that you made was actually your decision, do you have to continuously clarify that to the world? I'm looking at you, Brian Daboll.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man, your man could smell it.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. It is your boy Theo Dorsey. It is a Wednesday, a hump day, and we will be making our football declarations for the week here. We're going to be making our big, bold declarations right here in the hump day, the midweek portion of your calendar. It is September 24th. We have wrapped up week 3 of the NFL season. We officially have the news out of the Meadowlands that, well, yes, it will not be Russell Wilson, Mr. Unlimited. It will be Jackson Dart to start. We learned that yesterday, and today Brian Daboll made sure everybody and their mama knew that it was his decision and his decision only that made the call to bench the veteran quarterback for the rookie out of Ole Miss, number 25 overall in this past NFL draft, about to make start number 1 in the NFL. On the other side of the world and on the other side of the glass is C-Cat back at ESPN West Palm. I'm here at ESPN Houston, ESPN 97.5. I appreciate them for hosting me. And C-Cat, that was my decision.
Okay.
Yeah. No one else's.
Yeah, like you made the decision to be not in the studio today.
Right. That was my decision, and I want to make sure that it's public. I want to make sure people know that, just like Daboll has, I guess over the past hour or so, been emphasizing to reporters. I'm looking at this tweet from Dan Duggan, who covers the Giants. Daboll couched a lot of his answers with not getting into private conversations. The biggest point he emphasized is that it was, quote, my decision. C-Cat, do you think this was a Daboll-only decision?
No, I don't.
Nobody thinks it
Well, yeah.
is.
Well, I mean, if your boss is like, do this or you get fired, I'm going to make the decision that I'm going to do this so that I do not get fired. Ergo, it is my decision.
Yeah, well, by that logic, I mean, life is nothing but a series of choices. So, yes, by that logic, it was his decision to do so. Just like as a kid, I would always take out the trash. That was my decision. It wasn't because of my father was barreling over me with consequences ready to rock. So I guess I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe Daboll is making this call on his own. But remember yesterday, C-Cat, when I said, well, now that Daboll is making this call, knowing his job is on the line, now I have faith that maybe Jackson Dart is fully ready to get the Giants going. I have faith he might be QB1 in that locker room between him, potentially future Hall of Famer Russell Wilson. We're going to get into that today. And Jameis Winston. Daboll thinks that Dart is the one to make it shake. But you made a point, even though you also said you think Dart should be starting for the Giants this coming week against the Chargers, you made a point that with the fans chirping at MetLife Stadium, with it being on prime time, Sunday Night Football, it being an absolute embarrassment, this might be less of Daboll thinking Dart is ready, and it might be more of Daboll being pressured by the fan base, by his own owner, and by the inadequacies of Russell Wilson to force Dart onto the field, and he might not be all the way ready. So now I'm a little nervous for them Giants.
Yeah, I do think that it goes from fan pressure, media pressure, to owner feeling that pressure, and the owner transitions that pressure to the coach. That's, I think, the flow chart for it. I don't think that the fans directly can pressure a head coach into doing things. I truly think that a head coach of a football team knows more about their football team than any fan ever will. However, it's a business and it's a career, so if your boss tells you to do something or highly suggests you to do something, that's definitely a factor apart from your own football brain.
You know, one of our quote-unquote, they don't like saying bosses, managers, but I'll call them the boss, Uncle Steve Polliciner, he strongly suggested that we do a segment called Speaking or Tweaking. He legitimately one day as he was leaving the studio said, Theo, I had this idea, speaking or tweaking. And ironically, though, C-Cat, I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, I was going to say, if it was a bad idea, we really would have tested this, just this theory of ours,
Yeah.
but it's a good idea. So it could have been Steve that said it, or it could have been just someone walking past the City Place studios who said it.
But it was our idea, though. It was our decision,
exactly.
Steve's idea, that we do a segment called Speaking or Tweaking, which I absolutely loved. And you're right. I feel like a bit of a tool for actually exercising said idea. But it was a beautifully put idea. We found the right tools to implement it. And shout out Steve. Shout out Steve for hooking us up with that one. Maybe that's what Dayball is saying as well. He's like, yo, Jim Mara had a great idea. He came to me behind closed doors. He welcomed me into his nice, the office was exquisite. The environment was great. And he said, hey, I got this grand idea. Remember, you know that guy that you convinced me we should expend extra draft capital to trade up and go get Jackson Dart? Yeah, that guy that Joe Shane and you said that your jobs, will be tied to. He's going to be the future of this franchise. How about we play that guy? That's a good idea, right?
Exactly. You finish with, that's a good idea, right?
Yeah.
Like confirming that what I just said was not dumb, not rash, not immature. That's a good idea, right, Brian?
And Brian's like, well, yes, and it's going to be my decision to go ahead and implement said idea. Let me call up Russ. Let me call up Russ. I don't know. Anybody telling you they know which way this thing is going to go is an absolute lie. They're full of themselves. They think too highly of their own football opinions. I will be the first to admit to you, I didn't think Bo Nix would be good in his rookie season with the Broncos. I stood 10 feet tall on that, or 10 toes tall on that same disposition, especially based off what we saw in the playoffs. And look at Bo Nix through 3 weeks of this season. Like, it feels like that progression that we thought we were going to see from rookie to sophomore season didn't necessarily happen. And I do think that it was a lot more of quarterback whisperer Sean Payton helping him in this new offense do a lot of dinking and dunking, do a lot of getting by, but not getting fly. And it's starting to show its ugly head a little bit. Like, no knock to Bo Nix, but my priors on him was I'm not too impressed. He showed out his rookie season, but here it seems like the Roosters are going to come home to crow, or whatever they say, the old folks say. With Jackson Dart, though, I'm nervous. Like, do I stand 10 toes down and say I don't think this experiment's going to work? I think it's a bit rushed. Or do I believe in it because Dayball is kind of putting his feet to the fire because he has no other choice?
I feel like I would be more confident in the success of Jackson Dart if he started from week 1 on, right?
True.
Like, I don't play in the NFL. I've never coached in the NFL. But I feel like a full training camp would set up your young quarterback to be better. However, we are seeing a disproportionately, compared to the history of the NFL, early career success for young quarterbacks. Like, just C.J. Stroud popped year 1 and then regressed back down these past year and 3 weeks that we're seeing from C.J. Stroud. And Bo Nix popped year 1 and now stumbling out of the gates in year 2. Maybe there's a chance that Jackson Dart does play well this year, and then we won't really know who he is as a quarterback until he gets into years 2 and 3 of his career.
Yeah.
But I think it might, in the short term, actually inject a little bit of life into that Giants offense that desperately, desperately needs it. And if you watch Sunday Night Football, you'd probably agree with me that they need something else. I don't know what that else is, but one thing we do know is they had another option at quarterback, the most important position in sports, and they opted to go with that different option.
Yeah, and again, Giants 0-3 now. They're one of 6 0-3 teams in the NFL. They have no prospects of making the playoffs despite C-Cat's bold prediction.
They've got prospects. I think you can give them that.
They have prospects of making the playoffs.
Yes.
What kind of prospects?
They are not mathematically eliminated from the playoffs, and it's all in front of them right there.
I'm going to look it up. Percentage chance to make playoff. I don't think – I bet you the Giants are in the bottom 3 if you look at playoff picture projections. I'll go by ESPN's playoff projections here because, hometown guy. And I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom here. And, what do you know? They don't even have a metric for the. Oh, no, I was looking at the AFC. They have a 1% chance. I'm sorry.
Okay, yes, it would
Please
not
forgive
be.
me.
They can't make the AFC playoffs.
They
will
would not be
concede
able
that,
to make the AFC playoffs.
but they do have a chance to make the NFC playoffs. That's for sure.
They have three. The Saints have 3 times more of a chance of making the playoffs than your New. They have a 1% chance of making the playoffs. The Saints have a 3% chance of making the playoffs. Oh, and look at that. The Panthers 15% chance of making the playoffs. Should I go back?
Yeah, I'm gonna go divert from the ESPN, and I'm gonna go to. Oh boy!
Look, cleverly enough, I don't think. I think that you can go ahead and rip that.
Hey, you know what? I got a 7% chance for the Giants to make the playoffs. How about that?
Where at?
This is playoffstatus.com. I feel like it's in the name.
Yes.
They are dead freaking last in the NFL.
Yes.
But 7 times the chance that you're giving the Giants to make the playoffs, and we haven't even factored in the dart into the equation. We haven't seen what he can put on tape quite yet. So if the Giants go out there and just whoop on the Chargers, maybe we'll be singing a different tune come Monday.
Maybe we will be singing a different tune come Monday, but this is a Wednesday, and on Wednesdays we play a little game called Speaking or Tweaking. And on Speaking or Tweaking, CCAT, the thing I love about this segment, all we're doing is tossing up other people's takes, other people's quotes, and then we're playing judge, jury, and executioner. We're like Roger Goodell, except cuter, you know?
Yeah. I've never proclaimed myself to be cute. I let other people to do that. But if you're going to label us cute, all right.
Not us being cute. It's like a cuter, like it's more adorable. It's more, It's likable.
Sure. We're cuter than Roger Goodell.
Hit the dump button. I don't want to say, hit the dump button on cuter. I didn't want to, I don't want that to get out there to the air, to the radio. I'm back in Houston. I'm feeling like my childlike self, and something came out of me that should be buried away. We are like Roger Goodell, but just better.
There we go.
Judge, jury, and judge, jury, and executioner. This is Speaking or Tweaking, and who's our first candidate that's going to come up to the guillotine?
I think we're going to start with Luke Donald. We're going to get to more of the Giants talk, but Luke Donald is the captain of the European Ryder Cup team. The Ryder Cup is this weekend. USA versus Europe. USA going to try to defend their home country. They're going to play it at Bethpage Black in New York. But USA is going to get paid. Literally. They are going to get paid to play golf this weekend. Europe said, I don't know about that. Not necessarily necessary. And here's what the captain of Europe, Luke Donald, had to say when deciding whether or not they were going to get paid.
This isn't a week to get paid. We have such a strong purpose in this team, what we play for. And, to be honest, we reinvest some of that money back into the experience of these guys, and I feel like if you have those experiences that you remember for the rest of your life, that's worth more than a couple $100,000 in the back of your pocket. So, for me, I was very proud of the guys. I think the ideals of, how this Ryder Cup was set up back in the 20s by Samuel Ryder, I think he would have been proud too.
Theo, is that theoretically speaking, or is that tweaking on a European saying, you know what, you don't got to pay us to play for our region? You want to say country, right? But it's not.
But here's the thing, and I like me some Luke Donald, good guy. I shared Negronis with him up at 1,000 North at one point in the VIP club, so I don't want to burn bridges here. I don't want to be unwelcome back. But your boy is tweaking.
What kind of crackhead terminology is that?
Why are you pocket watching? Why are you hating on other people for not only maybe acquiring a little bit more dough for their time, but also, if I'm not mistaken, the Americans are donating $300,000 of the $500,000 they're getting to charity. And then most of them are saying, hey, we're going to donate the other $200,000 anyway because we're filthy freaking rich just like you, Luke Donald. So it's not about us not needing money, but we're also reinvesting the money into the community. Stop hating, stop pocket watching, stop being corny, man. Let people get paid. I don't like it. Are you a pro? Are you a pro play for the love of the game in the Ryder Cup guy? You think that makes people play harder? Is this the college football talk from 10 years ago? It's stupid.
Yeah, it's tough because these college football players aren't filthy freaking rich. So I don't know if it's a fair comparison Whereas playing for your country, playing for your region, it is a great honor, and all of the players consider it to be a momentous honor to be selected for their respective Ryder Cup team. Like, those wins rival putting on the green jacket, which is a singular achievement, the team achievement. It's rare to play team golf when you are on tour, when you are professional at the highest peak of your career. I personally, I think he's preaching. I think he's speaking right there. I think he is theoretically speaking, and I don't hate it from the European side. As much as I want to be tribal, as much as I want to get our guys' backs, and as much as I do support whatever decision a professional golfer does make in terms of playing on the PGA Tour side or on the Live Golf Tour side, I think this is a special 3-day stretch in your career where you don't need to get paid for this.
You don't need to, but why are people up in arms or talking out about the fact that folks are getting money? Like, I think it's the corniest thing in the world for one man to do is to pocket watch another, especially when they ain't got no business in that man's pockets. Do the Americans owe Luke Donald money? Do they owe him perspective? Do they owe him time? Do they owe him credibility? They don't owe him nothing. They should whoop his tail in the Ryder Cup now. Not only do I hope the Americans get the money, I hope that all of them keep their own $200,000. They all pull that $200,000 together. How much would that be? How many Americans are on the Ryder Cup team? Is it like 8, 6, somewhere around there? 12. You pull your 200,000 times 12. That would be $2.4 million. You pull that $2.4 million together. You start a GoFundMe page, and then you fund that GoFundMe page. And I want that page to buy as many bots as possible to then comment under all of Luke Donald's posts and put that he's tweaking. That's it. Nothing mean, nothing hurtful, just that he's tweaking.
Listen, if I can get a guarantee that the beer prices at the Ryder Cup would go down if the Ryder Cup did not have to pay any golfers, I would be even further on board, because we're looking at a 25-ounce Michelob Ultra is $18. Come on, man. That's ridiculous. You're talking about high noons that are $16.
But what you're talking about, C-Cat, is exactly what I mean. How about the golfers from the Americans that take what if they took that and they pulled it together into, again, a $2.4 million fund for American patrons at the Ryder Cup to afford concessions? How about that? There's so much good you can do with acquiring more money. You know what you can do with zero money is help a brother out.
Sure.
Name me some Americans on the Ryder Cup.
Got Sam Burns.
Sam Burns is dying to get C-Cat a couple of glizzies and a beer at the Ryder Cup.
I'm going to be there on Sunday. I'm going to hold him up to that.
Okay.
Like, hey, Sam, saw that paycheck this weekend. Can you lend me some?
Let a brother hold $1. And you know what? The beauty in it is we know that they're getting it, and we know that they want to donate it to charity. So, C-Cat, you can be the 5031C, 5013C, whatever it's called. You can be that. So go get your blessing.
But everyone and their mama that's involved with golf will proclaim the Ryder Cup to be a top prestigious honor in the sports.
All of it is.
So be about it. You don't need the money attached to this. You don't.
It's not that you need the money, but Olympians also would say it's an honor to represent their country, and they get stipends.
But if you're good enough to be on the Ryder Cup, you're a professional golfer who has made, just by letter of the law in the FedEx Cup standings, if you qualified for it, you've made a lot of money that year.
Don't NBA players also get paid? And they make a lot of money, the ones that play in the Olympics? Like, everybody gets paid for their time. I don't think that you should be forced to play the sport that you usually play for money, for free.
But you've got a sport that is honored in tradition, and this is one of those special circumstances where tradition is greater than the financial gain.
I'm not saying that the golfers need the money. What I'm saying is we should not be pointing ire at them or hating them or pocket watching them for getting the money. That's my only issue.
What
it's
I'm
not
saying
about
is
whether or not they should get it.
I'm giving a lot of credit to Europe, and by extension,
credit to Europe
for not taking payment for the weekend. Yes.
So where does the payment go? Where does the payment go if they're not taking the payment? Where is it coming from, or where is it going?
That I don't know. I think it might all go to charity or whatnot. I do not know where that money's going.
Exactly, and it's going to charity for the Americans. And you're over here, you're always protecting the person with all of the money. You're always worried about the owners and not the players. You're always worried about the leagues and not the teams. You're worried about where that pool of money is coming from, C-Cat, and trust me, it's not going to come out of your wallet. Stop pocket watching.
If, let's just say in this theory, right, the money that is being saved by the Ryder Cup by not paying a certain side gives them $2 million. If that savings gets passed down to me
you trickle down
in a 5% capacity, that's worth it.
You think that, have you ever met a rich person? Do you
No.
think that when they save money, they get altruistic all of a sudden and start giving it out, start giving people pay cuts and stuff? No. Rich people love saving money and keeping it to themselves. Now, again, I don't know where this pool of money comes from, so I'm not going to speak out of turn. But if it's a conglomerate of rich folks, I guarantee you that the money they're saving by not paying these golfers will not find its way into C-Cat's wallet.
No. I'll be holding my hat out and asking for donations from every single American who I am watching. Bryson, I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
Those Crushers paychecks are pretty steep. That signing bonus you took for Live Golf is pretty steep. I know you're donating a lot of that to charity. You know what? I would say I'm not going to be too far above being considered charity.
All right, and $10 from each golfer would go a long way to concessions. So I hope you enjoy the Ryder Cup.
All right, so I think that is speaking. You think that is tweaking from Luke Donald. How about we take aim at one of our own? Evan Cohen went out on Sportsmanlike today, and in light of the news that Russell Wilson is getting benched for rookie Ole Miss quarterback Jackson Dart, he had this to say about the legacy that Russell Wilson has built over the past several years.
I think Russ played his way into the Hall of Fame at one point. Can you play your way out of the Hall of Fame? I want to dive into that. We have some other things to get to, but I just think the Russell Wilson part of this is interesting. How do you get in and then get taken out? Denver, Pittsburgh, and the Giants. We got to be fair, and I love Russ. Talk about Aaron Rodgers, and CeCe says all the time, we're going to remember the Jets and the Steelers as much or more than we're going to remember the Packers. He's not playing his way out of the Hall of Fame, but I do wonder if Russ may have played himself out of Hall of Fame consideration.
Answer the question, Theo. Did Russell Wilson play himself out of the Hall of Fame with 3 failed destinations?
I've been saying this for 3 years almost. Not only do I think he's played his way out of the Hall of Fame, I don't think that there should even be like any kind of pushback to that sentiment. When's the last time he's been good at football? You know? And it's not just about how bad he's been. And I want Russ to do well as well. I'm not one of those random Russ haters. You know, I'm not. You know, not a big Dirty Sprite 2 fan. You know, it's not in my being to naturally be opposite Russ. But what I will say is, when you get run out of town 3 times in 3 stints, and each of them you were supposed to be the guy, like the starting quarterback, not necessarily the saving grace for the Giants, but you were going to save Dayball and Shane's job, and that has already not worked through 3 games. In Denver, they gave you your own office. They gave you a contract extension. They gave up future assets. I mean, honestly, if you think about it, Seattle got better when he left, when they went and got Geno Smith. And now they're doing good with Sam Darnold. Like, every single data point around Russell Wilson since, 2019 has been anti-Russ. And his peak wasn't that high. I think that's the biggest issue. Like, if he had let's say hypothetically, a Cam Newton-esque peak, but also won that Super Bowl and then came, harrowing down in the same way that Newton did, then I would say, the peak was high enough for me to say that the glory days deserve him still being in Canton. I just don't think that Russell Wilson's peak, when he was carried by the Legion of Boom, and then also, or it was Boom, right? Yeah, Legion of Boom. Legion of Zoom is so stuck in my head now with the Dolphins that I almost rewrote history. I think that's the issue, is you can play your way out of the Hall of Fame if your peak wasn't high enough in the first place. Aaron Rodgers, he is seemingly playing his way out of, in my own mind, first ballot Hall of Famer, but his peak was so crazy, and he's got 4 MVPs, and he has the Super Bowl, that I can't be ridiculous. Russell Wilson don't got that same argument, man. So I think Evan is right, and I've been saying it for the past 2 years. I'm glad somebody else said it. He's speaking. He's speaking. I forgot the segment. I got so caught up. He's speaking. One more time. Let me hear my dog, Dolph.
Preach. Well, I'm going to go against something that I have believed for a long time, but now that I'm seeing a complete career, is it possible that Russell Wilson is exceptionally close to the career that Brock Purdy's on track for?
Oh, man.
Early career success, playoff success. Just one snap here or there from winning a Super Bowl for Brock Purdy. For Russell Wilson, he did get the job done. But late round pick, gets a quarterback job early in his career. Just a loaded defense. That is the strength of the teams that he were on that did very well.
Tied to a prolific coach.
I think I have reversed my opinion on Russell Wilson. If I'm going to have the opinion that I have on Brock Purdy, I think retroactively I can take away a lot of credit from Russell Wilson from what I remember in his career. Because I know he threw a good deep ball, but when you look at the passing metrics for Brock Purdy early on in his career, it kind of looks similar. Like a lot of efficient passing, but a lot of good playmakers that he was playing with. I don't know, is Marshawn Lynch in the Hall of Fame? Is he on track for the Hall of Fame? I don't know, but he's a very good running back.
Yeah.
You have a rushing attack with San Francisco, Christian McCaffrey, a very good running back. The receivers that Russell Wilson played with later in the career, DK Metcalf, exceptionally good. Tyler Lockett, very good. Doug Baldwin, very good. Pete Carroll, like you said, an exceptional head coach. Shanahan, exceptional offensive mind. I think the Brock Purdy, Russell Wilson comparison might be one we make in 10 years when we get even more of a sample size from Brock Purdy, and maybe we get more of a sample size with Mac Jones and that San Francisco 49ers offense.
I'll go even further, though. I would say, and this is going to feel disrespectful, I would say Brock Purdy has a chance to outduel Russell Wilson's legacy if he does eventually get a Lombardi trophy. Now, that's the if, and it's the biggest if in the world, and it's going to be very difficult, and I doubt it happens. But if Brock Purdy gets a championship, when you line up their regular season stats next to each other and look at all of the negative plays that Russell Wilson has suffered and look at the fact that he's never led the league in passing yards, he's led the league in passing touchdowns just once, he has been carried, like you said, by a lot of excellent play around him. And overall, it just seems like a lot of his former teammates aren't even that, lofty in praise for him. Like, I don't like doing this because it's clearly recency bias. We're judging Russ more off the past 5 years than we are off his first 5 years. But if we're going to judge his career at whole, and that's what Canton should be based on, I do feel like Russell Wilson has played his way out of Canton.
Yeah, I think it's a real possibility.
In the breaks. Hey, Evan Cohen on Unsportsmanlike, he was speaking. I want to know what the good people think, though, C-Cap. That was tweaking or speaking. Do y'all think Evan was speaking, or do you think that, nah, he's tripping, he's tweaking out? I think Russell Wilson actually still is a Hall of Famer. Hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline, good people. Hit us up and let us know what you think. 888-760-3776. 888-760-3776. Love the Lupe track, man. Loved it. 888-760-3776. Hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline. Welcome to pro-level orthopedic care at Baptist Health. From sports injuries to everyday aches, our expert team delivers the same advanced care trusted by the pros. Get back to the life and the activities you love. Learn more at baptisthealth.net/ortho. 888-760-3776. Hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline. Is Russell Wilson still a Hall of Famer to you? Is he still headed to Canton, or is getting ran out of town by Geno Smith, Jackson Dart, and who took his spot in Denver? Was it Bo Nix? I guess it was.
Yeah,
Bo
Nix.
Nix.
It was Bo Nix.
Because they cut him and took one of the largest cap hits in the history of the NFL to let him walk. That's crazy. Y'all let us know what you think. Then he got his spot taken in Pittsburgh by Aaron Rodgers, which is also probably going to end in a disaster. Evan Cohen's going to defend his take on the other side as well. He's going to join us from Unsportsmanlike 6 to 10 a.m. with Michelle Smallman and Chris Canty, the Super Bowl champion. We'll have Evan on the other side to defend that take, and we're going to have to press him because he might have stolen that take from Theoretically Speaking, like they do half of the topics on Unsportsmanlike. But it's love. It's love. That's C-Cat. I'm Theo Dorsey from ESPN Houston, and he from ESPN West Palm. And we are Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
2 hours ago, Kyle arrived at the bar. Hey, what's everyone drinking?
30 minutes ago, Kyle got his friends another round of drinks.
Cheers!
5 minutes ago, Kyle decided to drive home drunk. A minute ago, a law enforcement officer pulled up behind Kyle.
Sir, have you been drinking tonight?
A chain of events that began 2 hours ago is about to change Kyle's whole world. Drive sober or get pulled over.
Brought to you by FDOT.
Fall is here, and the flavors of the season are waiting for you at DQ Grill & Chill. Treat yourself to the new Maple Cookie Milkshake. DQ's world-famous soft serve blended with maple cookie crumble and real milk. It's the sweet taste of fall in a cup, but only for a limited time. And don't forget the blizzards of the month, pumpkin pie and caramel toffee cookie. Stop by DQ Grill & Chill today with 2 convenient locations, 4828 Lake Worth Road and US 1 just south of Lake. Fall tastes better at DQ.
At St. Lucie Battery and Tire, batteries came before tires. We've been selling and servicing all types of batteries for over 50 years. So when you need a battery for nearly anything, we have it, as well as the fast professional installation you need. We carry premium batteries for all your needs: automotive, commercial, marine, RV, and specialty. We also offer delivery and on-site installation, serving our customers quality products for over 50 years in the home of honest, reliable service. Go to slbt.com and book your next appointment.
We want to see you in a Greenway Kia. Are you tired of the hassle of buying a car? At Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach, we're changing the game. No pushy salespeople here, just friendly product specialists on salary here to help you find the perfect ride. With over 500 vehicles in stock and a goal to sell 250 by month's end, that means incredible deals are waiting for you. Forget the back and forth negotiations. Once you pick your dream Kia, you'll work with one manager the entire time, making decisions on the spot for a smooth, stress-free experience. We'll even handle the paperwork, your tags, insurance, and every detail. Need help learning all the features? We'll schedule a post-delivery session when it's convenient for you. And if you can't make it in, we'll bring a new Kia right to your home or office for a test drive. Plus, for a limited time, you'll see the factory invoice right on the windshield of every car in the showroom. Visit Greenway Kia today or shop online at greenwaykiawestpalmbeach.com.
We want to see ya in a Greenway Kia.
Mas Plus by Messi is hydration plus more. A beverage like no other, made to give everyone an extra boost of positivity and inspiration every day. Created by Lil Messi, Mas Plus delivers a balanced blend of electrolytes with natural flavors, no artificial sweeteners or colors, no caffeine, and only 1 gram of cane sugar, plus vitamins with no compromise on quality ingredients. Floridians can purchase Mas Plus by Messi at key retailers across Florida or online at masbymessi.com.
Serving clients for over 30 years, Team IP has been the #1 souvenir merchandiser in the U.S., proudly powering over 2,800 events and 24 college football bowl games every year, including ESPN, ESPN events, and the Boca Raton Bowl, right here in South Florida. From custom apparel to branded promo gear, we bring your event to life. Want to boost your brand? Visit teamip.com and make Team IP your team today. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Touchdown! Racetrack is proud to support our local high school football teams. Whether it's Friday night lights or tailgate parties, Racetrack has whatever gets you going to fuel all the gridiron excitement this fall. Grab your favorite snacks, crispy chips, delicious Nathan's hot dogs, sweet treats, or our house-made pizza slices. Don't forget to quench your thirst with a variety of ice-cold drinks. Racetrack, your one-stop shop to fuel your football Fridays.
So let it rip.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
C-Cat, you want to know one thing about Racetrack?
Yeah.
It's everywhere, dog. It ain't like it's just in South Florida, man. I know that sometimes it's great to have things, but I might have passed one up out here in Houston,
dude,
with the Racetrack.
Got to stop in. Got to get some froyo. Delicious Swirl World. We're talking toppings that you can't count how many you see. Loaded.
Loaded. Oh, I thought you were going to keep talking about the actual the toppings there. I didn't know you.
No, you might
just
be
left
looking
me
at the
on a
wrong piece of
cliffhanger.
paper. We're good.
Okay, no, that's fine. C-Cat, I appreciate your take on the Froyos and the racetrack. I also appreciate that we are now being joined by South Florida sports radio legend who is propping up a book that he is 10 pages into, it seems like. He's LeBron style 10 pages into. Got Your Legends from Mike Greenberg. He is Evan Cohen joining us right here on Theoretically Speaking, and maybe for the first time in, let's say, 5 appearances, we won't have any distractions.
Maybe. We'll see about that. I don't know about it. How can you guarantee? You're going to guarantee that before we even start? Don't do that. You're jinxing it. Let me just say this. Can I say this? 2 things. Number 1, C-Cat, who doesn't deserve a lot of credit for a lot of things, I will say that C-Cat has done one hell of a job with racetrack, because what he's done is really raise knowledge for all of the amazing things that they have. Because I've watched his videos on social, and how many times have I sat back and I'm like, I didn't know racetrack had that. Oh wait, they have this too. They have that. So kudos to C-Cat for all of his racetrack videos and everything like that, and discussion about them on all ESPN West Palm platforms. That's number 1. Go ahead, Theo. I know you want to jump in on this. Go ahead.
Well, no, the only thing I want to say is I appreciate you commending C-Cat. He's great. He's excellent at doing that, and racetrack is amazing, and it deserves all the love it gets. I just want to pull back the curtain for everybody. I'm at ESPN Houston, ESPN 97.5, so I have no access to a board. Evan Cohen, do you have access to any applause buttons on your side?
Well done. Great observation. What C-Cat did was just
C-Cat's
congratulate himself by way of You know what, C-Cat? I take everything not about racetrack back, it's everything about you back. You can't congratulate yourself in that spot. Terrible job.
Theater of the mind. All I did was enhance the compliment for our fans that are joining us via the audio way, whether it be on podcast, on the South Florida ESPN South Florida app, or on the FM dial. For all they know, it was Evan Cohen and Theo actually clapping. That was the combination of them giving me a round of applause.
Well, we're not going to allow that to happen. The second thing I wanted to say, kudos to you. People need to go back and watch and listen to this from yesterday, because I listened to the whole thing with you and Greeny. Mike Greenberg, who's got the book out now, Got Your Legends, and I really enjoyed that conversation. I also really disagree with some of the stuff on there. But anyway, sorry, Theo. Go ahead.
Can we start with that? I do want to get to your Russell Wilson take that you had on Unsportsmanlike this morning, because it's something I've been saying for the past year and a half, and I absolutely agree with you. But let's start there, though, because I was absolutely intrigued by the concept of the book, Got Your Legends, which ranks the 124 American sports franchises in order, but then also gives the Mount Rushmore for each of them. The number 1 franchise is the New York Yankees. The number 124 is the Seattle Kraken. Did you know 123 was the Charlotte Hornets?
Well,
and Michael Jordan is on their Mount Rushmore.
The only reason I knew that is because you brought it up yesterday on your show.
Oh, yeah.
With Greeny. So, okay, let's talk about a couple of things here. Number 1,
the Heat. I'm guessing you want to start with the Heat, right?
Start that for me. That would be the beginning, middle, and end. So in terms of this part of it, because it all stems from your conversation yesterday. You did a good job of pointing this out, and really have to highlight this. So 124 franchises ranked based on their 4 best people associated with their franchise ever. For the Heat to be a top 30 franchise in American sports all time is insane how great that is. And by the way, Theo, you could probably make the argument. There's probably an easier argument to put them at 27 than there is 29, right? Which is the argument would go higher. So that's the first part. Second part. So what he does, as you mentioned, is he puts the Mount Rushmore together of the 4. How do you want to say it? Best, biggest? Because Mickey Arison is not on here, and he owns the team, and But how do you want to phrase it?
It's the 4 most representative faces of each of the franchises. The 4 faces that people think of first when is one of the ways Greeny put it. And they gave 3 qualifiers in there, and it was historical relevance, it was accomplishments, as well as how they resonate with the fan base, I believe. And it's all outlined in the book. But yes, the easiest way to put it is, what is Mount Rushmore? It's the 4 faces that people thought at that time defined America. What is the Mount Rushmore of the Heat? Well, he picked 4 names, and there's one that I know a lot of Heat fans are a little icky about.
Okay, so he picked Pat Riley, Alonzo Mourning, Dwayne Wade, and LeBron James. All right, now let's start here. Dwayne Wade is where it starts, along with Pat Riley. Those are the two. Those are indisputable. If you don't have them on the Heat Mount Rushmore, we just can't do this. So let's start there. So there's 2 open slots. Now, let's you and I discuss the candidates for those slots. Before we give them out, let's discuss the candidates. The candidates would include Mickey Arison, the longtime majority governor of the team, because without Mickey Arison, there is no Pat Riley. Without Pat Riley, there is no Dwayne Wade. Without Dwayne Wade, there is no everything else, basically. So he has to be a candidate. Alonzo Mourning and LeBron James are on here, so they have to be candidates. I agree with that, obviously. Tim Hardaway can be a candidate on here. Chris Bosh can be a candidate. Very unlikely that we would give it to Bosh. But Shaq, because that was the first player to pick the Heat. Right? Because Zoe was a trade. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that was the first player. Oh, no, that was a trade. But
it was a trade. It was a trade.
It was a trade. It was a huge trade. But that trade can't happen without him picking them, right? He really endorsed C-Cat is to racetrack as Shaq is to the Miami Heat. That was a great endorsement of the Heat. Okay? So Shaq has to be on there. Let's put Jimmy on there. Jimmy has to be on there in terms of 2 NBA Finals appearances. We're not going to put him on the actual list. We're talking about candidates. Right. Bam, to me, is less of a candidate than Jimmy, oddly enough, in terms of candidates for this Mount Rushmore. And then the one, of course, that has to be on there. I don't understand how Udonis is not on here. Because when you think of Heat culture, you think of Riley, and I think second or co-1 for Heat culture is Haslam more than Wade. What Wade represents is Heat greatness, is overall on-court, off-court greatness. Dwayne Wade is great at everything. He's great at everything. Dwayne Wade is somebody that you should look at and say, how can I study what he does and try to learn how to be more like him? But when I think Heat culture, I think of Riley, and I think of Haslam and Spoelstra. Obviously, I didn't mention him, but I thought, he's a given as a candidate as well.
Yeah.
But I think Haslam has to be on here.
Him and Wade are the only 2 that were members of all 3 Heat titles. Spoelstra, as players. Spoelstra, obviously, I think so. So here's what I'll say about Spo, and I raised the question because if you think about this, Alonzo Mourning being on there, I get it because of he is somebody that you definitively think of when you do think of Heat culture and we think of what the greatness of the Heat were in 2 different stints. But to have Spoelstra be the best coach in the game. And that's not like an opinion of a Heat fan. That's like the opinion of most fans of the NBA. To have him be the best coach in the game for as long as he's been considered that, and to have him have 2 titles and 6 finals appearances, because you got the 2 that you lose with the Heatles, then you got the bubble and you got the Nuggets. I think it's hard for me to have a guy like Alonzo Mourning specifically over a guy like Eric Spoelstra, just because at no point when Alonzo was in a Heat uniform or even in the Heat front office or whatever you would call his role as it has evolved over time, at no point have you considered him the number 1, the prominent, the...
I thought that was a phenomenal point you made. That was very well thought out by you, because when you said that to Greeny, I thought it was very interesting, because your whole thing is at no point was he the best center in the sport while he was with the Heat. Now, somebody listening could sit there and say, well, then how the heck do you 2 even consider Haslam, who's never been a top 20 power forward? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's why he's specific to this team. So, like, Pat Riley, any team would be amazing. Alonzo Mourning was great, obviously. These guys are great for multiple teams. Maybe Haslam, I don't know that Haslam would have been amazing for every team. He would have been amazing for every locker room, but I don't know that every locker room would have allowed him to be him the way that the Heat allow him to be him, because I don't mean him like the kids say these days. I mean like who he is. Right? So I think I'd go, if it was me, No order. Riley, Wade, Spo, Haslam. But Arison is the one that's in my head a lot here.
So, and again, we're talking about, the book that Mike Greenberg has just released. It's out in stores everywhere. It's Guide Your Legends. Evan Cohen, if you're watching us on the YouTube stream at ESPN West Palm, has it in his hands. It's yellow with green tint. I love it. I love the ambiance of that book. I have the PDF. I need to get a copy, Evan. But in that book, with the Miami Heat, their Mount Rushmore doesn't have Mickey Arison. And if you think about it, you said something that was very pivotal. He is the one that gets the credit for being able to attract Pat Riley to Miami, who then sets Heat culture in place, and that's what we have over the past 30 years. Jerry Krause is on the Chicago Bulls Mount Rushmore, and most Bulls fans hate him to this day. He gets credited, and he gets put on that Mount Rushmore because he brought in Phil Jackson. Jerry Jones is on the Mount Rushmore of the Dallas Cowboys, which I get because you can't think Cowboys without thinking Jerry Jones. But when I think about the last 3 decades, Jerry Jones has been the impediment to the Cowboys' success and not the person that's been improving their stature, just more so their buzz.
But he has 3 titles.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So, and again, Mickey Arison has 3 titles.
I know. No, I know.
Yeah.
Riley and Wade have to be on there. So if we narrow down the candidate pool, so some of the great names that we mentioned, like Bosch, like Jimmy,
they gotta get chopped.
Tim Hardaway, they get chopped. You're right. So I think let's do it this way, Theo. How many legit candidates? How many reasonable answers are there for the Heat Mount Rushmore? It's Riley, Mourning, Wade, James that he has. Haslam, Spo, Arison, Shaq.
Well, LeBron has to be in it too.
Well, no, he's on there already. I'm saying I counted LeBron.
Okay, yeah.
So the 4 he has plus Haslam,
plus,
that's 5. Spo is 6. Mickey Arison 7. Shaq 8.
Yes, that's it. I would drop it there. No Jimmy, no Bosch, and no Tim Hardaway. And it's nothing against them. Again, we're talking about Rushmore here. Like, they had to leave Derek Jeter off of the Yankees Mount Rushmore. Like, it gets
Is
sticky.
he really? I didn't see. Wait a minute. The Yankees one. Let me see here.
It gets
no one in the
sticky.
core 4, Evan. No one in the core 4 was on the Mount Rushmore.
It is difficult. It's more difficult than you think.
Well, I didn't write it, so I didn't think it was difficult.
I'm defending it as if I did write it.
Ruth, Gary, DiMaggio, man. Now, here's the thing. So Hembo has become one of my close friends who wrote the book with him. Hembo hates modern day sports. He loves anything that's like pre-1900. So, see, the problem with the Yankees one is that these guys are all better players than Jeter. But when you think when someone reads this book today, all they think about is Jeter is that Yankee core of 5 championships.
No Rivera, no Mariano Rivera either.
And Mariano Rivera is better at his job than you can make the argument that outside of MJ and Brady,
Tiger.
Hold on, MJ, Brady. So okay, MJ, Brady, Tiger, Gretzky, that crew, right? In our lifetime, Serena, Mariano Rivera is better at what he was asked to do than any other athlete was at what they were asked to do.
What about Phelps?
Phelps is good too. In team sports, Mariano Rivera took a 9-inning game and made it an 8-inning game. He was untouchable. I understand 0-1. I get that in terms of the Diamondbacks. I understand that. But I think, that is interesting. Jeter not on there. So I looked, Theo. It says ranking America's sports franchises and their most iconic figures. See, that's interesting how they label that because Jeter is an iconic figure for the Yankees. Yeah. He's not one of the 4 best players to ever play for the Yankees.
And that would also play into the hand of Udonis Haslam being a
iconic
Rushmore guy.
Yeah, because iconic is what he is. That is like literally to a T what he is.
And it's funny, some Heat fans are going to look at the Heat Mount Rushmore and see LeBron James listed 4th and think that he's maybe in that 4th slot. I would ironically say LeBron is probably safe. It probably is LeBron, Riley, and it's Wade. And that 4th slot is just based on who you are as a Heat fan. Who do you feel like is the most iconic representation of that franchise? For you, it's likely Haslam. For the next guy, it might be Mickey Harrison. For the next guy, it might be Alonzo Mourning. But I do feel like that, if we're being fair and proper about it, I would have to go with Spo. I would go with Spo over Zoe. I would go LeBron, Wade, Pat Riley, and Spo. And I do think that the Big Three Heat it was such a phenomenon, especially in this era of basketball and the way that it changed in which teams built their rosters, that it can't be ignored what Wade and LeBron meant to that, and you don't win those titles without LeBron. And then for Eric Spoelstra, again, I can't say out of one side of my mouth that he's the best coach in the sport, that he could take a team that was 11-30 before the trade deadline and have them end the season at 500 and have teams and players underperform on other teams and overperform on his. He's almost so good that it works to his own detriment, because sometimes I feel like they don't give him the proper assets or players to actually compete for championships, and that's why we've come up short over the past 5 or 6 years. Like, I can't give him all that credit and leave him alone.
Obviously, with Precious Achiuwa back. But anyway, so the question, let me ask you this then, Theo.
Don't fall for the trap, Evan.
Oh, I'm excited. I love Precious. I wanted Precious back. I'm pumped. You kidding me?
I like it too, but come on.
No, I'm not saying that. No, I'm not saying that all of a sudden they're going to be amazing. I'm saying he's the kind of player that they actually need right now for the role he's going to be in. We don't need to go too deep on that. We'll lose everybody listening and watching right now. But here's the question back to you, Theo. Who would Pat Riley put on the Miami Heat Mount Rushmore?
Not LeBron. Not LeBron. If it was Pat, he would have Zoe on there. It would be Wade, Zoe. You know what? The kind of guy that Pat Riley is, he would probably leave himself off, go Wade, Zoe, Spo, and
Haslam.
And Haslam, yeah. And Haslam. Wade, Zoe, Spo, Haslam will be Pat Riley's Mount Rushmore. Matter of fact, when I get the opportunity to interview Pat Riley, I can't wait to ask him that question.
When is
as
that
a designer of Heat culture. Huh?
When is that happening?
I don't know. And I mean, I'm speaking into existence, Evan. You
no,
never know.
I just wanted to make sure I tuned in that day. I wanted to make sure.
The day on Monday. That's when we're running to.
Oh yeah, they're gonna make Pat Riley available, just walking around to everybody.
Hey, Haslam knows that I know you, so.
Are you? Wait a minute. I have a question. Did you? So let me just take people behind the scenes, because I've done a million Heat media days. They're amazing. So basically, the way that these teams work is that they invite the media members that that cover the team / in our case at ESPN West Palm, carry the games, to just set up shop, and they run through a bunch of coaches, players to do a million interviews. So on Monday, you're going to probably have interviews with a million people that I'm sure we'll hear throughout the next week's month, whatever it is. You put in these requests in advance. Did you put in a request for Haslam?
I sent my email over to Brian last week, and I forget all the names on there. I probably did not, because I didn't think of him as a current player or a person that will be available. That slipped my mind.
Okay,
got the names in front of me now.
Let's say. Oh, go ahead.
We got Spo, Vlad Golden, Khalil Ware, Norman Powell, Andrew Wiggins, Davion Mitchell, Terry Rozier, Bam, and Tyler Hero.
That's a good get.
Well, Terry Rozier is probably not going to come on. Now, I would not. He's not somebody that I would make available if I'm the Heat right now. I think I would have him to the side.
One of our best videos from last year was our one-on-one with Terry Rozier, so I'm happy to do it.
A lot has changed since then. I wouldn't bet on that happening. Anyway,
he would.
So let's say it was supposed to just live there. That's the point, C-Cat. You weren't supposed to add on to that.
No, Cat. No, applause yourself, man. That was. I like it.
If you get Haslam, will you name drop me again?
Oh, of course. Off the top.
All right. Yeah, just making sure. Here, we now have the perfect intro. That Greeny, who is close with also, wrote the book, and that I came on your show to fight the fact that Haslam is not on the Mount Rushmore. There's your entrance point.
Yes, and we should probably clip a part of this of you like berating Greeny to put Haslam on there. That's what we should probably do to make that thing shake.
Udonis Haslam embodies Heat culture more than anyone else. Udonis Haslam is Heat culture, and if we're doing a Mount Rushmore for the Miami Heat, Udonis Haslam has to be on it.
Clip it, C-Cat. Clip it, and I can't wait to lead off our UD interview with that. Evan, I appreciate your time. I'm sad we didn't get into the Russ conversation, but just know I agree with you. I walk lockstep in you on that take.
I would put him in the Hall of Fame, but I feel like, unfortunately, he's the first example of someone playing themselves out of the Hall of Fame.
Oh,
yes, exactly.
Evan,
wanted me to say.
For the radio audience, I made my camera visible because I wanted to look into his eyes when I asked this question to Evan Cohen. I want to invite you to West Palm Beach, Florida, where Machine Gun Kelly does perform here in April, for you and I, mano y mano, to go to the concert together.
You want me coming to West Palm is something I do often, as you know.
Yeah.
So that's not any kind of hang up. Going to see MGK live.
Yeah.
Not a hang up. You and I going somewhere together, just the two of us.
Come on now.
I don't know what night it is, and I think I'm busy that night.
All right.
He just asked you on a nice date. You can at least give it time to ponder it over.
Well, okay. Well, then, no, hold on. What would that date look like? Why don't you tell me how you'd want it? Would we stop at racetrack on the way, get some froyo, or we do that on the way home, or what do we do? Wine and dine me. Go ahead. Where are you taking me?
I think we would save racetrack for the ride home. Get the Swirl World, and you can have it your own way, whatever gets you going at racetrack. I would not neglect my job, so I would finish Russo and Rizzo. I would be dressed to the nines. I would hope you would be as well. And we would go straight there. We would give the respect to every opening performing artist that's there. I believe Lil Wayne will be performing as well, so you would not want to be late for him. And we would enjoy some...
is the... Oh, no. Sorry.
That was a quick callback.
I don't get that reference, but I'm sure it was great. And we would just have a great time. And I would let you have say on where you want to eat beforehand.
And you'll pay,
yeah, we would
you'll pay for all of this? You'll pay for the tickets? You'll pay for the food?
Yeah, I absolutely will.
Yeah.
That means that we're getting seats that are in my price range, not yours. So I don't know if you want that.
I expect to be backstage with everybody. Come on now. I'm going with CCAT. That doesn't get me backstage.
No,
that doesn't work it out. Look, I for one am looking forward to this, mainly because I know that CCAT and Evan have been texting back and forth like Machine Gun Kelly lyrics to one another, and I want to see how many Lil Wayne songs CCAT actually knows. I know Evan knows all of them. I can't believe you don't know the text line.
By the way, shout out to Machine Fun Smelly JMP. All right, so that's it.
What is that? Is that
I don't know. Was that like a callback? Was that, or is that just?
He just wanted to take a random shot at JMP. Evan, thanks for your time. I hope JMP feels special because his shout out was now convoluted with a Machine Gun Kelly reference, and I don't even think he's a fan. That's Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike. Get out of here. No more berating my teammates, Evan. That's Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike. Before he says anything else smart alecky about our guys in our locker room, we had to get him out of there. He's from Unsportsmanlike, 6 to 10 a.m. every day. Michelle Spallman, Chris Canty. He's the best. We're literally CCAT sitting in his studios, and in 4 months, y'all will be sitting seat by seat watching Machine Gun Kelly.
I think technically I'm not sitting in the Evan Cohen studios. I am in the CCAT control room. That's where I'm at right now. You normally sit in the Evan Cohen studios, but I'm kind of here in the belly of the beast, behind the curtain. So maybe one day I'll be in the Evan Cohen studios. Who's to say?
Brandon in the YouTube chat is cheering for you to don't click it though, but he's cheering for you to you and Evan to have a good date. So I hope that it goes well. On the other side, the happy hour maybe.
Yeah, I think we will get happy during the hour, and it would be just you and me.
It would be just you and me and no Tina. She pulled out, but we're going to have the get around as well. So it's going to be a good time. That's CCAT. I'm Theo Dorsey. That was Evan Cohen. You can watch it back on YouTube at ESPN West Palm. We're theoretically speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Hey everybody, it's Cade Chumsland. Every week, Land Rover Palm Beach supports local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community by naming a Player of the Week. This year, $35,000 will be awarded to student athletes and their schools. Tune in to ESPN West Palm High School Game Day every Friday night as I unveil this week's featured athlete. If you have a great performance that I need to know about, DM us at ESPN West Palm, Land Rover Palm Beach, above and beyond.
Wing Wednesday, brought to you by Hurricane Grill and Wings. 30 bold flavors, ice-cold beer, handcrafted cocktails. Your home for sports is Hurricane Grill and Wings. Find your spot at hurricanewings.com.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party. No, you see, you get $150 in bonus bets after your first $5 bet hits.
Did somebody say hit?
Whoa, Ray Lewis? We were just saying if your bet hits.
Huh. You know I love a good form tackle.
We know, Ray. We know.
Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook. Roll with us. New players bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Payable in bonus bets, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 and up and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Anajar and Levine. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
You lather, rinse, moisturize, and repeat. At this point, you're practically training for the Shower Olympics. But here's the twist. It's not your shampoo's fault, it's your water. Hard water leaves a mineral residue that clogs your pores and dries out your hair. Culligan water softeners remove damaging minerals, revitalizing brittle hair and dry skin. Upgrade your shower system today for only $79 a month. Visit Culligan.com for more information or just say,
"Hey, Culligan man!"
Hi, Heat Nation. This is Jason Jackson from your Miami Heat audio experience, calling all the coolest and young at heart senior citizens. Do you want to become a member of the Miami Heat Golden Oldies dance team? Join us for open auditions on September 25th at Southwest Focal Point Community Center. Don't miss your chance to join the legendary senior citizen hip-hop dance team for the 2025-26 season. All participants must be at least 65 years young by the audition date. For more information, visit heat.com/Golden Oldies.
Hi, I'm Scott Smith with Smith Ball Baez and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. As you have likely seen and heard, law firm advertising is at an all-time high. Attorney ads seem to be part of every radio and TV commercial segment. Some firms are even using paid actors and actresses to speak for them. At Smith Ball Baez and Prather, we know that the decision to hire a law firm should never be based on advertisements alone. It is our past results and many positive 5-star reviews that we encourage you to read at smithball.com to learn more about our law firm. We have board-certified lawyers. We have lawyers listed in the best lawyers in America and in super lawyers. But most importantly, we have experienced lawyers located right here in Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast that are ready to be your advocate and your voice, and fully prepared to start fighting for your legal rights today. Our purpose, legal power. Our mission, huge results. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith Ball Baez and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith Ball Baez and Prather, help is just a local phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
Hey, Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, to tell you about a team that has meant a lot to me and this community for a long time. Bob and the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning have been helping me stay cool for years, whether at home or in the office. And living in South Florida with 3 kids, I don't know what I'd do without them. Family owned and operated, serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs, installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or bradleyair.com. Any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
Tina, I've been looking everywhere for you.
Hey, Colin, what's up?
How's the gym?
It's been great. I'm seeing results. My sports-certified Vitacost products have made a world of difference.
Oh, same. Isn't it great? Vitacost is basically the reason I've been able to keep up with Ironman training. Everything you need is in one place for my BCAAs, protein, and electrolytes. Best part, it's all clean and free of banned substances.
Go re-up on your supplements today. Visit Vitacost.com and use code ESPN20 for 20% off. Level up your game with Vitacost.
Get ready, South Florida. It's the 12th annual Boca Raton Bowl. Tuesday, December 23rd, 2 p.m. at FAU's Flagler Credit Union Stadium. Two of the best group of 5 teams go head-to-head in the ultimate holiday showdown. Over 150 players have gone from this field to the NFL. Who's next? Visit BocaRatonBowl.com for the latest, including when tickets will go on sale. The 12th annual Boca Raton Bowl, Tuesday, December 23rd, 2 p.m. at Flagler Credit Union Stadium.
It's Tina. You know how important it is to keep your car running. And when it comes to my car, I only trust St. Lucie Battery and Tire. They've been taking care of South Florida for over 50 years, and they're still family-owned. Need new tires? They've got all the big brands. Battery issues? They've got it. Cars, trucks, boats, RVs, and even commercial fleets. And if you ever get stuck, their 24/7 roadside emergency service is a total lifesaver. Go see my friends at St. Lucie Battery and Tire, slbt.com. They'll keep you going.
ESPN West Palm is on the move. Brought to you by Safebound Moving and Storage, the most trusted moving company in Florida. You're safe with Safebound. Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell it.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. It is your boy Theo Dorsey. We are Theoretically Speaking. I am on the road. I am at ESPN 97.5 in Houston. Big shout to the homies over here for housing me. A quick trip to the crib, to the motherland. Make sure everything is all intact. Sea Cat's on the other side of the glass, on the other side of the Eastern Seaboard. Is it called the Eastern Seaboard?
Yeah, we are boarding the sea.
And he is on the ones and the twos. Here in the happy hour. No Tina, though. She couldn't show. No show today for Tina.
Yeah, sometimes people got the liberty to say, I don't really feel like it.
Well, you know what? That's fine. That's perfectly fine. Do you think she just didn't want to be in the Evan Cohen studios by herself? It could get lonely in there.
I guess so.
Yeah, it could get lonely.
You know what? If you want to make excuses for her, that's well within your rights.
I'm big at making excuses for people. I do that all the time. It can get lonely for people.
Except for yourself. You're a man who has integrity.
I'm a man of integrity, and the reason why I'm a man of integrity is because I can't live without it. Got to have it. If I don't have it, man, then things like what I was able to do earlier, which was make this coffee machine that looked like it hadn't operated in like 2 or 3 years' work here at the office, and people trusted me in there by myself to do it. It's because I got integrity. It's about what you're able to make happen when nobody's looking. By the way, I don't know if I broke any rules by doing so don't tell anybody.
I think you're good. I think you're honestly fine.
Yeah.
Do you watch the Manning cast at all when Monday Night Football happens?
No. I gave it a chance a couple of years ago. I find the Mannings probably 15, I would say 30% less amusing than the general public does at all times. Now, I think that they're funny. Did you see when Peyton Manning drew up to play and Eli was with him and he said, "Here's you, Eli, on the sideline, and this is me, and that's where you'll be whenever I'm playing"? Like that.
I didn't see that. That happened recently.
That happened recently, and it was absolutely it was hysterical. So they're funny a lot of times to me, but I think that I don't know if I could do a whole broadcast of just them. I like them a lot, but not enough for all of that.
See, I thought they were hilarious when they weren't like faces of media ventures, right? When you get them in that small doses, not a lot of athletes truly are actually funny, but they are well-spoken and funny in that way. I like
Eli's funnier with Peyton, though,
Yeah,
Peyton is funny.
True. Like the playful jabs back and forth that brothers do, that dynamic can't be faked. Like two friends can't knock each other in the same way that brothers can when it comes with that ethos. That's what I would say on that. I like the Manning cast when it's a bad game or a game that I don't have too much strong interest in. But like last Monday Night Football was great. Like it was Ravens-Lions. Even if I wasn't a Ravens fan, I would have wanted to watch that football game for the pure sport of it. But when we've got, I don't know, you got Seahawks.
Well, how about this upcoming weekend of Jets-Dolphins? I mean, we're going to be at the stadium, but if we weren't, we probably would be. That's a Manning cast game.
Yeah, I wouldn't watch Jets-Dolphins for the love of football.
No.
I would do that for the love of my job, and I would probably make that a little bit easier by watching the Manning cast. That's what I would say on that. But, Theo, the reason that I brought that up is because Peyton Manning did a segment on the most recent Manning cast where he looked at the NBA, and the NBA recently made a rule change where half-court shots at the end of the half or at the end of the period or whatever won't count against a player's specific field goal percentage. That's to encourage these players to take these very, very low percentage shots that they otherwise wouldn't because they're thinking about their job security. They're thinking about their stat sheet.
Incentives, yeah. Contract incentives sometimes tied to field goal and three-point percentage.
So Peyton Manning said, you know what? In honor of that, looking at our sport that we played and I cover now, he had 5 different rule changes that he would like to enact if he had all the power in the world. Do you want to hear the 5 rules that Peyton Manning had to say? Well, I'm glad you said yes, because I've got Manning rule number 1.
Rule number 1, intercepted Hail Mary shouldn't count against quarterbacks at the end of the half. Hail Mary throws at the end of the first half should be a team interception. They shouldn't be a quarterback's interception.
So that's kind of the same vein as the NBA one. Yeah. Do you have any qualms with that?
I don't. Actually, that is probably going to be the best one on his list. I doubt Peyton can top that. This is like Aaron Rodgers' first Super Bowl season. Hasn't done anything of any kind of magnitude since. That is a perfect rule. And the reason I like it is because a Hail Mary at the end of the half for a football team is you are signing up for the 50-50 proposition that you catch it for a touchdown or they intercept it or maybe bat it down. And that is a team decision, not a player decision, right? Like that quarterback isn't the one that called that in the huddle. Now, if you throw an interception on a random deep ball, I think the issue with that is how do you delineate between what is a Hail Mary and what is just him heaving it at the end zone close to the end of the half. Like, that's a judgment call at that point, you know?
Yeah, that's a judgment call. But in sports, there's a lot of judgment calls when it comes to the rule book. Like in baseball, almost the entirety is a official scorekeeper deciding whether or not something's an error or if it's a hit. I think that kind of walks along with it.
Hold on. Back to that, though. So here's the issue. When there's judgment calls like this and you introduce subjectivity and then you have guys like, I don't know, Tony Romo and Dan Orlovsky that can't wait to take blame away from guys like Josh Allen. Like, at what point do we start then retracting arm punts, quote unquote, that Josh Allen throws as team interceptions instead of goofball throws in the double coverage?
And that's why I think watching the game is so much more important than reading the stat sheet when it comes to determining a player's performance that night.
Okay.
So I think you just kind of take everything for what it is. And if we just see a guy has 7 interceptions this season, okay, that number's not very great. But if you take away 4 of them because they were on heaves, it changes your mind completely on the ball security and the decisions that specific quarterback made that season, if you ask me.
I think I like the rule. I just think that it introduces a new level of subjectivity that will start sparking other rules. Like remember, Lamar had, 3 interceptions last year? 2 of them were off drop passes. Should those be credited to Lamar Jackson, right? Like,
okay. If we can judge drops, then we can judge receiver interceptions.
Yeah. And I think that I'm curious to hear the rest of Peyton Manning's rules, but I would assume I would be surprised if he didn't flirt into that direction, but I will give him a stamp of approval on his first rule.
Okay, and now we have the second edition.
Number 2, false start, offside, equity within the 10-yard line. If you're on the 1-yard line, the offense false starts, they go back to the 6-yard line. The very next play, if the defense jumps offsides, they only go back half the distance to the 3-yard line. The offense is entitled to get those 5 yards back. That rule makes no sense. Offensive dum-dum, 5 yards back. Defensive dum-dum, I want those 5 yards back.
Yeah, that is awesome.
I didn't think about that ever.
Someone needs to address that. I can't stand the half the distance to the goal rule in the NFL. How about you, Theo?
All right, so I like what he's saying there, but then will he sign up for if you have the ball on your own 2-yard line and you have a false start, is it a safety? You can't have it both ways. Or do you back it up to the 1?
You back it up to like the half-yard line, you or the 1.
Okay.
I think that's fine. I don't think you go. Yeah, I wouldn't give a safety. But then again, it's not unprecedented. They do safeties on offensive holdings in the end zone.
That's if the quarterback is standing in the end zone. So that's different. All right, here's what I'll say about this rule. It is, and again, I'm listening to these for the first time, so you guys are watching me consume it and also contextualize it at the same time.
It's fair because you kind of give an unfair advantage to the defense when when offsides is not penalized, essentially.
Yeah.
If you've got 4th and goal from the half-yard line, everyone on that line is going to try to time the snap. They're not waiting for the football to be snapped to go because, oh no, you got me. I'm early. We will move it from 6 inches from the goal line to 3 inches from the goal line. It's the same thing.
We saw it last year, Commanders versus Eagles, when the Eagles were trying to do the tush push and the Commanders linebackers were not allowing them. I believe that was Washington. It might have been Green Bay. I can't remember specifically.
Was definitely Washington, yeah.
But so we saw where that advantage lies, and that's probably where Peyton Manning low-key got that idea, because if you're going to give the advantage to the defenders to have them be able to tee off on the O-line, but then if the O-line jumps at all, that's 5 yards backwards, that is an unfair advantage. That's a great rule. So that's number 2. Back-to-back good rules by Peyton Manning. This guy's kind of smart.
Can he keep it rolling?
Number 3, targets should not be an official statistic. Targets are one of the biggest reasons wide receivers get angry with quarterbacks. They should be outlawed. How do people know who I was throwing to when the ball was batted or when I was throwing it away?
So now we see the quarterback bias kind of seeping in here to Peyton Manning's proposed NFL rule changes. What do you think about removing the target statistic from the official NFL stat books?
I think that's dumb. I think this is a pointless take by Peyton Manning. Number 1, do you think A.J. Brown had to be told after the first 2 Eagles games that he didn't get targets? Or do you think that he kind of witnessed it himself when he was out on the field and the ball didn't come his way? Like, that's not going to mitigate diva wide receivers, and I'm not saying that's what A.J. Brown is. He just was a guy that was bored as hell getting ready to read another book because the Eagles' offense is so damn vanilla until Jalen Hurts starts calling the plays, but that's another story. I don't think that this is going to do what Peyton Manning thinks it would. I appreciate targets as a stat because targets as a stat paints the picture better for the fans and for the journalists around the game and
for bettors. Like, it's an important betting situation.
Fantasy football, you want to know, and you want to know as easily as possible, especially with something that is easy to ascertain for the most part, how many times is a quarterback looking at and throwing a guy's way. If he wants to say that a pass batted down at the line once or twice, it gets misconstrued who that target was for, that's a cost I'm willing to bear.
Yeah, and if the NFL doesn't do it, someone will.
Yeah.
Someone will go back, watch the film, and provide that information for the masses if they need it. So that was the 3rd rule from Peyton Manning.
So 2 for 3. 2 out of 3.
Number 4, batted balls should be illegal. They should be banned. Nobody comes to a football game hoping to see someone bat down a pass. It's lazy by the defensive lineman. It means his pass rush didn't work. It should be an automatic replay the down.
All right, cut this guy's mic. Cut this guy's mic. He started strong, C-Cat. Now he's going off the rails.
You don't
what the hell is that?
Batted passes? I agree with him. They're not that exciting. He's very offensive-minded. I will say that. But, I mean, J.J. Watt made a career on batted passes. It's convenient that his last name was Watt and rhymed with SWAT. But I don't despise it just because we know that as the rule in the NFL, it's been a part of the game since the inception of the forward pass. Does not mean the game would not be better off if the batted pass at the line got removed.
No, it wouldn't. Think about how deadly those RPOs, the RPO peaks would be with the slant coming over the middle, and the line is not allowed to jump. Also, if he puts his arm up and it hits the ball, that's a swat and it's a penalty against him? Or what if the ball hits his helmet because Kyler Murray's throwing it and he's 4'12"?
Eli did check him on that and asked the specifics of the rule, but he did not like guys that are just hanging out at the line of scrimmage, not rushing the passer and just throwing their hands up.
That's defense. All right, so then no more passes behind the line of scrimmage. Am I not allowed to swat the ball if the ball is behind the line of scrimmage?
Yeah.
That's too hard to that's stupid. Not only is this a bad rule by Peyton Manning, I think it's a stupid rule, and he has a big football brain, and I expect more out of him. I would hope he was being disingenuous and just being funny on that rule. I'm going to write that off as Peyton Manning telling a joke, being facetious. There's no way in hell he thinks that batted down balls at the line of scrimmage should be banned.
That was SB's Peyton Manning seeping on in. That was a award show host Peyton Manning seeping in, and he wraps it up with this.
Number 5, cash payments on the field for late hits. When a hit on the quarterback is going to result in a fine for the defensive player, there should be a cash payment on the field. The defensive player has to go get the actual cash from the sideline in a briefcase and physically hand it to the quarterback. It would eliminate those type of plays because of the public embarrassment by the defensive player.
So this one's creative from Peyton.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I don't know if I hate it. I would love to watch it. I mean, don't kid yourself. If you think that's ridiculous, it'll get you to a TV to have to watch a linebacker who was blitzing light up a quarterback, have to run to the bench, take out his wallet, maybe hit an ATM, so it takes him out for a play or two, to then, I don't know, make it rain on Daniel Jones.
Okay, so he is being funny now, right? Like, we can both agree that Peyton Manning kind of got off the rails as he got through his quarterback rule. Maybe he had 3 serious rules, and they were like, we need 5 rules, and then he made these last 2 up. You know?
That's true.
That's like maybe the producers were like, come on, Peyton, rules of 5 in TV. I actually like it. It's pretty funny, and it'll be entertaining. Last time I saw somebody handing out cash on the sideline of a football game, he was banned from LSU events. I believe that was Odell Beckham Jr.
I thought you were talking about Chad Ochocinco when he gave a $1 bill to a referee during an instant replay. That's what I was thinking.
Also great. That was also a great moment in football history. I will say this, though. I will say this. I am all for like one of those kind of like, so when I think about that, I think about on the other side of it, like a player who gets a celebration fine, or excuse me, a celebration penalty for, you know, let's say Amon-Ra St. Brown, who tends to over-celebrate touchdowns. If he gets a celebration penalty and they throw a flag, I think he should be able to have the choice on the field of either giving, and you can do it in cash or post-game, giving $15,000 up, you know, paying the fine, giving it to the referee or whoever you got to give it to through charity, or taking the 15 yards. And now you got guys making business decisions about the celebrations. If the NFL really wants to crack down on celebrations, because if you're that receiver, now your head coach is looking at you like, nah, you better pay that fine. We ain't taking 15 yards. But it's up to the receiver. So now you put him in a sticky spot. Are you a team guy or are you a me guy? You care about your family or do you care about this family on the field? I like that idea better than Peyton Manning's.
Another proposed rule change, not from Manning. This is outside of that. I forget who did attribute this possible rule change. I think every pass behind the line of scrimmage is a live ball. Like, no more of those shuffles forward on jet sweeps that are dead balls so they hit the ground. And I also think it changes the screen game a little bit, and it makes the quarterback think when dinking and dunking, and it adds a lot more danger to those plays than we see. Because, listen, I don't want to see the Dolphins dink and dunk down the field where the air yards to Tua Tagovailoa is in the negatives. That's not good for anybody. I think
Allen
that
does a lot too.
Yes, you're right. I mean, it does, and I would love to see Josh Allen air the football up down the field, and football fans would love that as well, whether they like him or hate him, because then you see more Josh Allen interceptions. I do think there should be an added level of danger to throwing the football behind the line of scrimmage, not just a dead ball if the ball goes forward.
Okay, I counter you with this point. If you were to adopt that rule, you would have to then also invoke rule number 3 from Peyton Manning about the balls being batted down at the line of scrimmage, because now you're telling me if J.J. Watt bats down a forward pass from whoever and that ball never crosses the line of scrimmage, it's a live ball.
Yeah, that is tough. And then
you can't. There's no way, because if that bubble screen is a live ball because it's passed behind the line of scrimmage, and if I pass it forward and it's batted down, that's also got to be a live ball.
Yeah, and now you get into these weird moves because you can judge whether or not a football was going forward out of a quarterback's hand when you're just deciding whether it's a strip sack or a forward pass. That is difficult because a batted pass at the line should not be a fumble. That's obvious, but if it never passes the line of scrimmage, like you're saying, yes, it would never have reached it. Huh.
One rule I thought Peyton Manning was going to go with that he didn't is I think that throwaways, intentional throws out of the back of the end zone or towards the sideline should not count as incompletions. It should be its own separate stat.
I thought you were going the other way around with it. I thought that's the least entertaining play in football is a throwaway.
It is.
So I thought it was a more harshly judged intentional grounding where you really got to look at a quarterback with a critical eye and thinking you were not trying to throw that football to a receiver at all. No. You were trying to reset on 2nd and 10.
I'm not picking this stat for the love of the entertainment of the game. This is to help quarterbacks be better because I do believe if you de-incentivize them trying to this rule could have saved Zach Wilson's career. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it could have saved Lamar Jackson last night, right? Like he doesn't throw.
He
opts to go with I'm going to trust my legs with this, not force a football into a tough window or throw it away and hurt my completion percentage. I'm not saying Lamar Jackson was thinking that in that split-second moment, but if that was more of an attractive action, okay, maybe.
And I think, again, who knows how it affects how quarterbacks actually play on the field. But what I do know is, at the very least, I know NBA players box score watch. I know that Trae Young has already admitted that he does not throw alley-oops off of the backboard anymore because the NBA does not count a pass off the backboard as an assist. So that means that you stop doing this very fun play because you realize it will not help you to counting towards the assist number that you want to be high. I think professional athletes care about their stats and pad their stats and read the box scores more than people give them credit for. And no more glowing example than the Week 18 start from Josh Allen with the Buffalo Bills last year. You knew it was always going to come back to Josh Allen.
That's
Love
a streak. That's a streak, not a stat. How about
It's a streak of what? A stat. A game started as a stat. That is a stat. Maybe we eliminate that stat and Josh Allen will sit his ass on the sideline for once.
We are officially in Major League Baseball MVP race comparing stats where you have right now it's Cal Raleigh and you have Aaron Judge. They're big faces on Stat Geek and they line up every single stat they have. And you'll see, depending on what the biases of the person that posts it, on what they include in those stats. And you'll see that in other sports too, where games started is a stat, just to make sure people know.
Yeah, games started. Then look, whenever they put a quarterback comparison that's anti-Jalen Hurts, they'll somehow leave out the rushing touchdowns.
Well, no, they should do that. They should do that.
That counts. That matters.
That doesn't. I mean, no, it does not.
Rushing touchdowns do matter.
I mean, if they are outside the 5-yard line.
That was everybody's points for Josh Allen over Lamar Jackson last year in the MVP race when Lamar only had 2 rushing touchdowns and Josh had like 10.
Can't speak for everybody, but Jalen Hurts' rushing touchdowns are not created equally.
You're right. You're right about that. But those touchdowns not created equally. Neither are moving companies. Some are good, some are bad. Some are cut rates, some are worth their weight in the dollar that you pay for them. And I can tell you right now, Safebound Moving and Storage is worth every penny. You are safe with Safebound. It's South Florida's most trusted moving company. They literally moved my sister from South Florida to Georgia, and they can do the same for you. Whether you're moving into the state of Florida, out of the state of Florida, maybe you're moving within state lines. Maybe you love the Sunshine State so much you're like, I'm going to go county to county in this thing, baby. I'm going to keep it pushing. Safebound Moving and Storage is the place to go to. All right, trained team of experts, family-owned, based in West Palm Beach. Best of all, have you ever tried moving yourself? All right, well, then I don't even got to talk to you. You already know what the deal is. But if you haven't, back strains, damaging door frames as you're trying to push, couches and bed frames through tight windows, those are the kind of things you can do as an error as a person who is an amateur. Go to the pros. Go to Safebound Moving and Storage. SafeboundMoving.com. Safebound Moving and Storage. That's the company to go to. I'd hate to see you leave, but I'd love to see you use Safebound Moving and Storage. You're safe with Safebound. Peyton Manning, man. Batted down balls at the line. He's a tall guy, too. He's a tall guy fighting for short guy problems. What's that about?
Good point. If you could not bat passes down, I think Kyler Murray might have a much better career ahead of him.
Hell yeah. Him, Bryce Young, Russell Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of guys. Caleb Williams has had a problem with that here and there. He's not the tallest of quarterbacks, but he did get the biggest cure of all this year, and that was a game against that Dallas Cowboys defense. Who would have thought that one guy would turn the Cowboys defense from above average to the worst in the league and probably going to be historically bad. It is the antidote to bad quarterback play. Line them up and play against the Dallas Cowboys. We'll see what Jordan Love does to them this weekend. C-Cat, we got a safe bound get around on the other side. I also have to offer up a cocktail of the day in the absence of Tina, so I'll make sure I conjure up something for the good people. And we got the Sunshine standings. I give you the update on the college football teams out of Florida, where they rank, and I'll give you a hint. The team that's number 2 in the nation, likely number 1 in the state. That's C-Cat. I'm Theo Dorsey. We're Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Welcome into the Kaiser Sports Update. I'm Kate Chumsland. The Seahawks football program is still undefeated after a road trip to Kentucky and a 42-12 win over Cumberland. Cardinal Newman alum Dallas D'Souza with 2 receiving touchdowns. The team is on a bye this week, back home October 4th to face Thomas. From football to football, the number 1 ranked Kaiser women's soccer team took down number 9 ranked SCAD Savannah on Sunday 3-0. At PGA National, both men's and women's golf teams hosted the Seahawks shootout last week. The women took first place, the men third. But freshman Matas Sezo did take home the individual title, shooting 12 under over 3 rounds, the only golfer to finish in double digits. This week in Seahawks sports, volleyball, soccer, and women's golf are all in action, plus the season openers for men's and women's tennis. For times and tickets on all of Kaiser University's athletic events, head to kuseahawks.com.
It's UFC Fight Night this Saturday on the 27th. Carlos Oberg, Dominic Reyes, 2 light heavyweight bruisers looking to prove they deserve a title shot against Magomed Ankalaev. These guys are nearly identical across the board in height, weight, and reach. So will the up-and-coming New Zealander get his first crack at gold? Or will the savvy vet Reyes finally return to the top of the mountain? Twin Peaks is your ultimate UFC headquarters for all the big pay-per-view cards and every fight night in between. Enjoy an ice-cold 29-degree draft beer and made-from-scratch favorites from the kitchen as you watch all the fights on one of the big-screen HD TVs. With Twin Peaks as your fight night headquarters, there's never a bad seat in the house. And you get to enjoy all of the fights without a cover. Check out the Twin Peaks locker room of rare bourbons, whiskeys, and tequilas crafted for true champions. From scratch-made favorites to ice-cold 29-degree draft beers, Twin Peaks is your go-to for eats, drinks, and scenic views.
ESPN 106.3 is your home for live sports presented by Hard Rock Bet, home of Inter Miami, Miami Heat, and the Miami Dolphins. Catch all the action and the biggest matchups throughout the week right here on ESPN 106.3. Hard Rock Bet, it's Florida's official sports book. Try Hard Rock Bet now and receive up to $100 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. It's offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida, must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida. Wager terms and conditions apply. Considered by gambling. Call 1-888-ADMITTED.
The season is kicking off. Keep your home in the win column with EDS Air Conditioning. Right now, qualified customers can score 0% interest for 60 months on a brand new AC. Hot streaks belong on the field, not in your living room. With over 800 Google reviews and a 4.8-star rating, EDS is trusted as the MVP, and it has been since 2006. Visit EDSIsYes.com today. Kick off your game day comfort and don't sweat the small stuff.
Wing Wednesday, brought to you by Hurricane Grill and Wings. 30 bold flavors, ice-cold beer, handcrafted cocktails. Your home for sports is Hurricane Grill and Wings. Find your spot at hurricanewings.com.
From kickoff to cash out, ESPN Bet has the tools you need to score more on game days. Bet smarter with stats at your fingertips. Get personalized parlays built just for you. And with your fantasy team synced right in the app, you can back your squad. Right now, new customers get $100 in bonus bets when you bet $10. Sign up with promo code USL to get started. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
New Beyond Raw Lit V2 pre-workout. GNC's #1 pre-workout. Now with harder hitting energy, an intense mind-body connection, and enhanced endurance support. This isn't just pre-workout, it's precision engineering for your body. Turbocharge your workout with new Beyond Raw Lit V2. Available now at GNC and GNC.com.
The Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group, an affiliate of the Palm Beach Health Network, is committed to delivering high-quality care to the communities they serve. Their award-winning physicians and specialists provide a level of expertise that has resulted in regional firsts and outstanding patient outcomes. For a physician referral, call 866-654-2362. To learn more about the Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group, visit pbhnphysiciangroup.com. pbhnphysiciangroup.com to get in touch with the Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group.
God knows. I am reincarnated. I was stargazing. Life goes on, honey, and all my babies.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
Please forgive me. I'm not over here just fiending, but I am on Duffy'sMVP.com looking at all of the options on the menu. I have been so obsessed with the new football features, the new menus that Duffy Sports Grill has for football season that I almost forgot the menu items that have always been there, like the island fish tacos, grilled mahi, lemon soy, pronzu glaze. You got the red and green cabbage, little sriracha aioli. Roasted pineapple. That sounds good. How about the firecracker shrimp tacos, though, C-Cat? Because you've been known to take that route. Crispy butterflied shrimp, Thai sweet chili sauce, sesame ginger slaw, scallions, buttermilk ranch dressing, a little pico de gallo, just to kind of lubricate the vessel a little bit. That's just some of the triple tacos. They got award-winning burgers. They got jumbo wings. They have it all at Duffy Sports Grill. Most importantly, they got 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. That's the way you want to roll. That's the way you want to get it. 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. You got 80 or more televisions in every single location. So that means that when you are at a Duffy Sports Grill, you will not miss a minute of the action. Just ask your server, hey, can I get that TV turned to this game and then that one to that game? It don't matter if it's a Saturday, a Sunday, a Thursday, a Monday. You can get it all. It's Duffy'sMVP.com, Duffy Sports Grill. Make sure you get your rewards card, become an MVP like me, and start tracking those rewards today. Man, C-Cat, great show so far. Great couple of days. Great guests we've been getting on here. Cameron Wolf, NFL Network, Mike Greenberg, ESPN. We had Evan Cohen. We're talking a little Mount Rushmores of the Miami Heat. And we got Heat Media Day next week. It's weird in the NBA how spanned out these media days are. Like, it feels like we've been seeing stuff from, like, the Knicks and the Nets and whatnot. Like, it's like a whole 6 or 7 day span where NBA teams are doing media days. When I saw all this stuff coming out, I started to think I missed it. I was like, did I miss Heat Media Day already? No, it's on Monday.
I know. I'm excited for it. No Jimmy Butler at this year's Heat Media Day.
Weird.
Like
That's
that,
weird.
He was the most highly anticipated guy last year's Heat Media Day, and he did not
Showed
show
up
his
late.
face until we were live on Theoretically Speaking. So in every Jimmy Butler soundbite from last year's Heat Media Day, you hear me and Theo talking about Bills Ravens. Like just talking about Josh Allen this, and while he's trying to talk about his relationship with Mickey Harrison, Eric Spoelstra, and Pat Riley.
That is going to forever, for the entirety of my life, I am going to always love that fun fact. If you go back and look up Jimmy Butler's Heat Media Day interview and you watch the thing in full, it's like 25 minutes of him answering very serious and pointed questions from the Heat faithful, the media that cover the Miami Heat, who had waited all day on his appearance. And all throughout that thing, especially in the gaps when he's waiting to hear the questions, we were like 15 feet away from the scrum, but we couldn't do anything because we were already going by the time he came.
Yeah, there was nothing we could do. It's honestly Jimmy Butler's fault.
It's
we can
his
all
fault.
say that, right? We can all pass the blame to Jimmy Butler, especially now that he's not a Heat
player.
No,
A Heat.
A Heat.
I don't like that. I hate that.
Like, I'm a Knick. I am a Hornet, and
I know,
I am
I'm
a Heat.
Yeah, I don't. That's the only reason why I don't like team names that are not plural.
I'm a Jazz.
Yeah, I'm a jazzy fellow. You saw Ace Bailey fired his agent? Speaking of
No,
Jazz, yeah.
Ace Bailey. He's the guy that got drafted.
Yeah,
didn't
that
to
didn't
go
wanna-
to the Jazz.
Yeah.
They drafted him anyway, and he didn't show up to camp for or rookie camp for 3 days or whatever.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, now he fired the agent that gave him that advice. So one would have to,
okay. I thought it would be the other way around, where he fired the agent that couldn't get him the result that he wanted.
Well, he didn't. The agent did not get him the result he wanted, and he gave him the advice that seemingly is poor. So, so sorry to that man, and sorry to Ace Bailey. Hopefully, he has a great career with the Jazz. Before we get on the safe bound get around, can I deliver you a cocktail of the day?
Yeah, please. Parched.
This one, I'm serving it up Texas style since I'm coming to you guys from ESPN Houston, ESPN 97.5. Again, big shout out to my guy Sean that got me set up out here. This is my hometown. Not my birthplace. Kansas City is the birthplace, but this is the hometown I grew up in. So big shout out to ESPN Houston for hooking it up. We're going to go with a Texas Mule cocktail. By the way, vibes very low around the Houston sports scene right now, CCAT. Texans, 0-3. Offensive line disaster. Defense great. Nothing else good. CJ Stroud having a junior slump. You don't hear about those. Houston Astros. I was talking to my guy Sean, who hooked me up in the studio here today. He does an Astros podcast for ESPN 97.5. He was like, man, next week might be our last show.
Whoa, come on now.
Crazy.
The Tigers are free-falling, and they can sneak on into that last wild card slot.
It's great. But again, that's not the expectation that you walk into an Astros season with. You don't ever – this is a team that is perennially, one of the 8 teams remaining, one of the 4 teams remaining, really, and now it's like we might not even make it to the dance.
That's true.
And then the Houston Rockets, you're gearing up for a great season with Kevin Durant, and then this week we learn Fred VanVleet, starting point guard, torn ACL. So
Forgot KD went to Houston. The NBA offseason feels like eons ago, even though we're still in it.
Well, they're trying to sip their sorrows away out here in my city in Splash Town, and one way to do so maybe would be the cocktail of the day here in the happy hour. How about I interest you in a Texas Mule? A Texas Mule.
Okay, I'm listening.
Now, you know what a Moscow Mule is. A Texas Mule just changes up the spirit. You got a copper mug, 2 parts whiskey, 2.5 parts ginger beer, and 1/2 part lime juice. Pretty simple, straight to the punch. A Texas Mule cocktail. Houston, we have a problem. Texas, we have a mule. And the cocktail of the day brought to you by first of all, it's inspired by Texas.
And it's brought to us by EDS Air Conditioning and Plumbing.
Brought to us by EDS. I mean, Texas knows a little thing or two about the heat. That South Florida heat is sometimes unbearable, and if you are enduring that like I generally do when I'm back home, you need to lock in with EDS Air Conditioning and Plumbing. EDSisyes.com. That is the website. Those are the good people you're going to want to get locked in with, and if you know anything about beating the heat, it starts with a great AC company. Florida Heat plays hard, and it never takes a timeout. Getting cheap AC or plumbing also, that's a losing game, right? It's going to cost you more down the line. EDS stands for Everyday Savings, the real kind. Quality work, trust, peace of mind. Palm Beach County has relied on EDS to stay cool and comfortable. In fact, I have as well. Same-day hot water treatment replacement, 2 yearly tune-ups. All of that comes with the EDS Gold Plan, which I'm a member of. You also can get 0% interest for 60 months for qualified customers. You get value, you get comfort, you add that up. It's a winning record, CCAT. EDS is yes. EDSisyes.com. Visit the website. Find out for yourself. You want to take a little trip? Let's take a trip.
I'd be happy to.
The Safebound Get Around is brought to you by Safebound Moving and Storage, South Florida's most trusted moving company. You're safe with Safebound.
The Safebound Get Around, man. This is how we get to the hottest topics all across the nation, from state to state, city to city. I mean, we might even go country to country on this thing, man. I'm feeling kind of antsy. Where are we going first?
Next stop.
We might go country to country eventually, but we're going right down the road. We are going to Coral Gables because we're going to get to them a little bit later on. They're feeling pretty good about themselves. We know about Carson Beck.
Come on.
Is he a Heisman opportunity? Sure, maybe. The odds will tell you, but is he the best player on Miami? Mario Cristobal, head coach of the Canes, gives an other option.
Like Ruben Bain has really, in my opinion, separated himself as, one of the best, if not the best player in the country.
After the beatdown of the Gators over the weekend, it is the Miami Hurricanes are the number 2 team in the country, according to the AP poll. What have been your early season impressions on the Miami Hurricanes?
The Hurricanes have the ability to be dominant on any given night. They showed that against the Gators. Even though the offense didn't show up, that defense was electric. Ruben Bain, he leads the team in tackles with 22. He's got 2 sacks. That number's gonna multiply by the end of the year. He also has an interception. I remember that from the Notre Dame game. Ruben Hurricane Bain defines what it is to be a Miami Hurricane. He is a throwback defensive lineman when you think of some of the greats of the past, but he's not alone. Akeem Mesidor, Wesley Besant in that front seven as well as a linebacker. This is a team that is not deprived of talent on the defensive side, and they are much better under Casey Heatherford. I'm excited about Miami. They're the number 2 team in the nation. We'll see where they are on the Sunshine standings later on. Mario Cristobal is not being beside himself, though, when he says something like Ruben Bain might be the best player in the nation. Just you wait until the NFL scouts get a good look at this guy and start projecting where he's going to go in the NFL draft. Then we will have the final say on that. I've said it since the beginning of the year. Francisco, Maui Noah, Ruben Bain, and then also, if he straightens out his act, Carson Beck, all have the potential of being top 5 picks. Maybe not all of them at the same time, but each of them will get top 5 type grades depending on how the rest of their seasons go.
Wow.
Bain and Maui Noah specifically for sure.
Wow, that's a pretty strong statement.
I mean, Beck, at this point, I think Beck is a first-round pick. But Maui Noah is probably the best offensive lineman in this upcoming draft, and Ruben Bain is the best defensive lineman.
Next stop.
Let's stay in the same conference in the ACC, and let's go to a school that's not having quite the season Miami is for any sense of the word. We are in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Now, the Tar Heels might be 2-2. They might have just gotten blown out by Scott Frost and the UCF Knights. But good news for Bill Belichick, because he has been selected as the cover for Us Weekly, alongside his girlfriend, Jordan Hudson.
Wow.
And it's the picture of the both of them. Jordan Hudson is standing behind him, hands on his shoulders in a glitterily silver dress. Opportunist, muse are deeply misunderstood. Friends and insiders talk to us about how the former cheerleader captured the 73-year-old coaching legend's heart and became the most talked about woman in sports. Who is the real Jordan Hudson? Asks Us Weekly, and I assume that they answer it.
Oh, I thought you had a soundbite of them answering it.
No. You gotta buy the copy at your nearest grocery store or racetrack to find out.
I won't be buying that copy, but I will say, you getting the doors blown off of you by both TCU and UCF at UNC is DEAD. Like, Bill Belichick should have put the what do you call it? The kibosh. How do you stop something?
He should have shut it down.
Shut it down. He should have shut down this magazine cover happening right now in the midst of what is going to be an absolutely embarrassing season. This thing is so bad that even Mike Tannenbaum's son transferred out before it got started. I
got to imagine this interview and this photo shoot took place before the season began, and now they're rolling it out. And you're right, it looks awful. It looks like elder abuse. I got to be honest, it looks odd, especially the way this is framed.
Yeah.
Captured the 73-year-old coaching legend's heart. She's on the sideline. Everyone's seen the pregame conversations that they have. I don't see other head coaches' wives on the sideline.
Steve Sarkisian sometimes.
Talking to him.
No, not generally
during the game.
No.
But like being on the side, sure, that comes with the territory of being a coach's wife. But she has her hands on this football program. If I'm a Tar Heel fan, I am livid. Like, we better be undefeated for this stuff to get by. The fact that we have not beaten an FBS opponent, I guess, is Charlotte FBS yet? They beat Charlotte and they beat Richmond, which I didn't know had a football team.
Yeah, the Spiders.
That's disgusting, the fact that this is still happening with the program. You get those extra privileges when you win, and you have a reputation that precedes you. Not one of the two.
Yeah. He's, Belichick. I don't think Belichick's going to be long for Chapel Hill. The question is, what does that buyout actually look like? And is it still a succession plan for his son?
Right. Because that's the weird and twisted thing about this, because it's not just you get rid of the guy, you pay a hefty toll to do just that. It's been the succession plan. Like you talked about, Steve Belichick's supposed to take over the reins after a short period of time where Bill Belichick was, in theory, going to build this football program that he's taking over from Mac Brown, of all people. It's insane.
This is a weird, convoluted situation. Just a real honest question for you, C-Cat, because UNC football has a history of making bad decisions. Maybe, like not terribly so, but that athletics department has definitely been in some shady waters. Do you blame them? Do you blame them for taking a swing on the guy who's considered the greatest football coach of all time?
I don't.
I don't either. Honestly,
I don't.
It's
the same reason, and this is going to be not comparing apples to oranges, but comparing apples to an enchilada. But it's kind of the same line of thinking I have with the Cleveland Browns taking a chance on Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Like you took a really big swing and you spun around in the batter's box and fell on your head.
Yeah.
But you took a big swing. If this went right, it goes right, but it didn't.
Nobody in their right mind thought that Deshaun Watson would turn into what he is today as a football player. They thought he was a decrepit human being, but nobody thought that he would be a bad football player, and I think we cannot blame the Browns for that. We cannot blame the UNC Tar Heels program for opening up the door and letting in Bill Belichick, but I know that they can't wait to be able to close that door shut. This is embarrassing.
And that was the Safe-Bound get-around. Anything but embarrassing when you ride with Safe-Bound.
Oh, yeah, man. It's the opposite. It's embarrassing when you don't choose Safe-Bound. It's embarrassing when you try to do things on your own and then you end up in the ER, you know? Do you blame UNC for taking on Bill Belichick and handing him the keys to that program alongside Jordan Hudson? Do you blame that prestigious university that tried to go from being just basketball school to basketball and football school? They pushed out Mac Brown, of all people, for this. Can you blame them? 888-760-3776, 888-760-3776. Hit us up on the Baptist Health hotline. Welcome to Pro Level Orthopedic Care at Baptist Health. If an injury is keeping you from what you love, our expert team is here to get you back in the game. Trusted by the pros and ready for you, because everyone deserves pro-level care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho to learn more. We're Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Hey, it's Theo Dorsey. My favorite time of year is here, football season. And if you're a fan of football, you need to be playing Prize Picks. It's simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. Will Saquon Barkley have more or less than 1 rushing touchdown? Will Joe Burrow throw more or less than 2.5 passing touchdowns? If your picks are right, you can cash in. Prize Picks also puts their users first, so all withdrawals are fast and safe and secure. They offer Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more for quick and easy deposits into your account all football season. We make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Download the app today and use code THEOD to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code THEOD to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
All right, let's talk about your game day routine. You've got the jersey, the cooler, the tickets, but what about your ride? Show up looking like a champion with Unlimited Auto Wash Club. With 6 South Florida locations, every membership includes unlimited 100% hand washes, 1 per day, every day. From a quick exterior shine to the ultimate special with wax, Rain-X, and interior touch-ups, Unlimited Auto Wash keeps your car looking its best all season long. Call 561-WASH-ME-TOO or visit a location today.
Elevate your drive with the new 2026 Range Rover Velar P250S, where sleek design meets powerful performance. Lease it today for just $749 a month for 36 months, with $6,995 due at signing. This is your chance to command the road in signature Range Rover style. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and make sophistication yours. Land Rover, above and beyond.
Hi. This is Scott Smith of Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. I have said it many times before, and I will continue to say it for many years to come. There is never a good time for a car accident to occur, and most certainly never ever a good time to suffer injuries in any type of an accident. The accident and its overall aftermath will usually cause pain, difficulty, and stress. Florida law allows accident victims to recover compensation for such losses, injuries, and damages. but such recovery is often not obtained easily and can require a lengthy fight with an insurance company. If you've been injured in an accident, call us now. Don't delay. The initial consultation is completely free of charge. The sooner you call us, the sooner we can put our experienced legal team to work for you. Don't hesitate or pause for another minute. Our experience, knowledge, and resources could be working for you just minutes after the call. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather, help is just a phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
It is apt that the song that we use for the Sunshine Standings, where we rank the top college football teams in the FBS Division I that are in the Sunshine State, 1 through 7. It's apt that we use this Will Smith, this Fresh Prince song, C-Cat, because you want to know what the name of it is?
What?
It's Welcome to Miami, baby.
How about that? How many teams we got?
We got 7 teams. We'll start at number 1 because it's anticlimactic.
Number 1.
The Miami Hurricanes. Can I hear from Mario Cristobal talking about whether or not the Miami Hurricanes are actually back? Are they back?
Well, he hates the way you say back.
Yeah.
I think that statement is like, here's what happened. Back during that time, Miami was so damn good and also, irritated a lot of people with style of play and whatnot. Some really physical, high-level play of they were characters. I mean, those guys are iconic in so many ways. So, I mean, it's nostalgia theater, right? In this country now, that everybody wants back. Well, we don't want to go back. We want to go forward.
Woo! That's a bar. That's a bar. I do ball, brother. I do ball, brother. Number 2 is the Florida State Seminoles.
All right.
That's the Miami's next opponent. That's all I have to say about them.
Number 3.
Canes on the bye, by the way. See y'all at the Doak in a couple of weeks. USF. South Florida still at number 3. Still holding on strong.
Wait, they played Miami better worse than Florida did.
Yeah, but they beat Florida. That's the thing. That's the issue here. They beat Florida on the road in the swamp. So, sorry, Gators.
Number 4.
UCF is undefeated, C-Cat. They're 3-0. UCF has as many wins as Florida has losses. I'm sorry, Gators fans, but you're next. Give me the next.
Number 5.
Florida Gators, number 5. You're 1-3. Next.
Number 6.
FIU is number 6.
Number 7.
Florida Atlantic's last. Sorry, Ken.
Man.
Sorry, Ken. You got to get some wins. This was fun. From ESPN Houston, I'm back at it again tomorrow from these offices. C-Cat, we'll get it locked and loaded. Go in love, go in peace, go enjoy.
Fall is here, and the flavors of the season are waiting for you at DQ Grill & Chill. Treat yourself to the new Maple Cookie Milkshake. DQ's